Good morning, students. Here I am Kanupriya. I'm PhD Geography, and this is my next video on chapter 3rd of book India, People and Economy. So let's start with it. Chapter 3rd, which is migration. Migration is a very important component of population change. It's very important to understand about migration, its causes, its consequences, its spatial variation. So this chapter will deal with the concept of migration, causes of migration, as well as consequences of migration. Migration affects both the places, that is the place of origin and place of destination. So let's start with this chapter. Migration. What is migration? Migration is basically the movement of people from place to place, or it is the movement of people from their home to another city, state or country, either permanently or semi-permanently. So what is migration? It is basically the movement of people from one place to another, either permanently or semi-permanently. Migration has been an integral part and a very important factor in redistributing population over time and space. Migration as a concept, as a word, as a component is very important in bringing changes in population over time and space. India has witnessed the waves of migrants coming to the country from Central and West Asia and also from Southeast Asia. If we'll see the ancient times, so number of migrants came to India from Central and West Asia and also from Southeast Asia. Who are migrants? These are the people who move from one place to another place. Moreover, large number of people from India too have been migrating to places in search of better opportunities, especially to the countries of Middle East, Western Europe, America, Australia, East and Southeast Asia. That means number of people from India migrates to other countries, other areas for better opportunities. So this is all about migration. Now comes the next topic, which is Indian diaspora. Over the years, we have seen number of migrants moving from India to other countries. India has seen 3 waves of migrants or 3 waves of migration. During the colonial period, that is the British period, people were forcefully sent to other countries like Mauritius, Caribbean islands, Fiji, South Africa by British from Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and number of other countries. They were forcefully sent as laborers and their job was not very good. The indented laborers were not better than the slaves. They were more or less like slaves. They have to work and they were forcefully sent to other countries to serve the people of that particular country. So this was the first wave of migration which was witnessed by India. Now comes the second wave of migrants, in which people moved to the neighboring countries in recent times as professionals, artisans, traders and factory workers in search of economic opportunities to Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, African countries, and the trend still continues. Nowadays what happens, that number of migrants move to the neighboring countries for better economic opportunities. There was a steady outflow of India's semi-skilled and skilled labor in the wake of oil boom in West Asia. There was also some outflow of entrepreneurs, store owners, professionals, businessmen to Western countries. So this was the second wave of migrants in which people move from their country, India, to other countries for better economic opportunities. Now comes the third wave of migrant, which comprised of professionals like doctors, engineers, software engineers, management consultants, financial experts, media persons, and others who migrated to countries such as USA, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, etc. These professionals enjoy the distinction of being one of highly educated, the highest earning and prospering groups. So basically, in third wave of migrants, what happens that people move from their country by their own. They have moved from their country for higher wages. This lot basically consists of highly educated personnel. They move to other countries for generating more income and for more economic opportunities. So this was the wave of migrants which India has experienced over the years. First wave is related to the migrants who were forcefully sent to other countries to work as laborers. Then come the second wave of migrants in which people move to other countries for better employment opportunities. And third one involves the highly educated people who move from one place to another for better opportunities related to their economic life or standard of living. So they move from their country to other countries. So this is called as Indian diaspora. Now comes the concept of migration. You know what? Migration or the data of migration was recorded from the very beginning when the first census was conducted in India, that is 1881. In the census of India, migration is enumerated, that means the data is collected on two bases. First one is place of birth and second one is place of residence. First one is place of birth. If the place of birth is different from the place of enumeration, known as lifetime migrant. This means if a person from UP is moving to West Bengal, that means when the enumeration, when the data is collected, that person is present in West Bengal. So that migration will be called as the place of birth migration, which means the place of birth is different from the place of enumeration, where the data is collected about that person. So this is included in place of birth migration. And second one is place of residence. If the place of last residence is different from the place of enumeration. For example, if that person who is in West Bengal, who has moved from UP and from West Bengal, he moves to Andhra Pradesh. So the last residence, he has moved from the last residence which was West Bengal and the present residence which is Andhra Pradesh. So that migration, that enumeration will be done in Andhra Pradesh and that migration will be included in place of residence. So this is place of birth and place of residence. Now comes the next topic, which is streams of migration. Migration is of two types. First one is internal migration and second one is international migration. So let's discuss them one by one. First one is internal migration. It is that migration in which people or migrants move from one place to another within the boundaries of the country. That means if a person is moving from one city to another city, one town to another city, or from one state to another state, that means within the boundaries of the country, if the migration is happening, that is included in internal migration. Internal migration is further divided into four streams or four types, that is rural to rural migration, rural to urban migration, urban to rural migration and urban to urban migration. So these are the further subtypes of internal migration. Person can move from rural area to rural area. He can move from rural to urban area. He can move from urban to rural area and he also can move from urban to urban area. So these are included in internal migration. Depending upon the factors, we have different factors because of which people move from one place to another place. Now comes international migration. It is that migration in which people or migrants move from one country to another country. For example, if a person or a migrant is moving from India to Australia or from Australia to USA. So this is basically the international migration in which migrants move from one country to another country. There are two important terms which is related to international migration. First one is emigration, starts with E, and second one is immigration, starts with I. Here you can learn that E means exit and I means in. So what is immigration and immigration? When migrants move out of a particular place, that means they are exiting from a particular place, that term will be called as emigration, starts with E. E means exit. And second one is immigration, which starts with I, which means migrants who move into a new place. That means people are coming to a particular place, that will be included in immigration. That will be designated by the term, that is immigration starts with I, which is in. Now comes the causes of migration. Migration is basically determined by two factors. First one is push factors and second one is pull factors. Push factors are basically those factors which forces an individual to leave their place of residence or origin. It includes poverty, high population pressure on the land, lack of basic infrastructural facilities like education, health facilities, etc. Natural disasters like floods, famines, droughts, wars, etc. Then we have political instability. If a particular place has political instability, then people will not like to live in that particular place and they will be forced to leave that particular place and move to or shift to some other place. So these are the push factors. Now comes pull factors. These are those factors which attract migrants or people from different places. It includes better job opportunities, availability of regular work and relatively higher wages, better health and education facilities, sources of entertainment, better standard of living. So these are the pull factors which attracts people from different places. People move from one place to another for better job opportunities, for regular work, for higher wages, for better education facilities, health facilities, for sources of entertainment or for better standard of living. So all these things, all these pleasures are included in pull factors. So migration is basically determined by two factors, which are push factors and pull factors. So this is all for today. If you have any doubt, please come up with your doubts. Thank you so much.